something to do. No,
You'll be fine.
it'll be good. I know most of the people.
Computer next to you. If I want to what? Like, use it? For the screen? Fancy, okay.
You can come up here and click it.
Oh, I have to like be in charge of something. Way to check your phone, Paul, jeez.
Huh?
I was like, hey, Paul.
What?
I'm running a little late and I don't want to fall and die. You want to come pick me up? No. Wow. Wow.
Oh, do you know what I probably got on Do Not Disturb?
I do that all the time.
I guess I can't.
I messaged Sean too. I'm like, I'm trying not to break a hip. So.
Yeah, you know what? Here it is.
Well,
I thought you were.
Sorry about that, Megan.
Wow. All
Sam
right.
and I were having dinner and I wasn't paying you no mind.
That's fine.
Okay, now we got an hour tonight.
Yes, I'm,
True.
Well, that's what my husband's in Tucson.
Jen, could you please grab me dinner?
I thought, I was like, I'll just, do dinner and stuff after. And then I looked at everything we had to cover and I'm like, you know what?
Andy's in Tucson
Yes.
I made an extra copy.
for a football game?
No, for work. He probably doesn't even know there's a football game there tonight.
Well, at least you'll be able to heat your home tonight with that.
Yeah, well, I'll be able to feed the city shredder with this. Okay, it's 6 o'clock. We'll call our meeting to order. Open with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Neil made sure to let me know, and I agree with him. We have an hour tonight. We'll get through it.
All right.
I don't have anything to report. We had our council orientation that I thought went really well. But other than that, I don't have any committee or other activity reports, other than to say that if anyone was hoping to talk to Sam and was worried he was late, he and I were having dinner, and I was telling him all about Paynesville. So that's on me, not him. Don't judge him.
What'd you do after the 10 minutes were up?
We talked about Councilmember Brick.
Fair.
All right, I guess I'm going down to you, Paul, because I always start on my left most.
All I have is the working session we've had.
All right, Megan.
I just had the working session, no committee meetings, but I did spend basically last weekend living at the PAC between the wrestling tournament and the dance shows, and I just, I'm really grateful that we have it, and it's a good thing for our community. So shout out to everybody who made that happen again.
Neil.
The orientation, which was very informational. And then I had the Green Roof meeting last Wednesday. And the biggest thing there is they're losing their funding. Actually, Catholic Charities lost a ton of money. And they decided to close the senior dining in Paynesville. And the committee met last week, and they're gonna go with catered food and keep it going, so
Okay.
we'll see how that turns out, but they're low on revenue, so I know they're looking for donations and any help they can get.
Our new member, Ms. Potter.
All right, I just attended the working session and orientation.
Perfect.
That's all.
Okay, department head reports. Chief.
Thank you. Not a ton to report. We are currently open for the 5th officer position. We've got that set to close at the end of January. We'll see if any applications come in.
You're up to what, 75 now?
What's that?
75 applications so
At
far?
least.
Yeah, I might have dreamt that last night, but. So we'll see how that comes. If we've got any applications, then we will proceed from there. If we don't, then we will continue to post until we get some applications. We've got one of our squads that is down again. So don't know what's wrong with that, but they're looking at that today up at ID. It is under warranty, so hopefully they'll figure out why it keeps blowing its coolant lines.
Stellantis.
RMS system, as you guys know, we started the new RMS system back up in November. I would love to report that that's going smoothly. We are working through that process.
Growing pains?
What's that?
Growing pains?
Something like that. And then lastly, you'll see on the consent agenda, we've got a resignation of one of our part-time police officers. This is one of the gentlemen that was hired several years back when we were running short-staffed from another agency. We did, departmentally, we did put a policy in place that for part-time staff, if you couldn't commit to working one shift every quarter, that you needed to let me know, and we needed to discuss whether or not you should still be on our roster. We've had some that haven't worked for over a year, so we felt it was time to make that necessary change, and this is a result of that. At this point, we're not looking to replace that particular position with hiring the 5th officer. I think we'll be just fine.
All right. Any questions for the chief? Ron?
Okay, thank you. First of all, the flags will remain at half-staff in honor of former President Carter until January the 28th. Anybody is wondering. There will be a partial street closure again on First Street right by Centricare on January the 27th from 6:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. So that'll be exactly the same way it was previously. The chloride grant that we had applied for, it's in our informational, we did not receive it. Public Works met, likely will be applying again next year. Skating rink is open, anybody wants to get up there and skate, as is the sledding hill. I'd like to remind all the residents, please clean your sidewalks, people do walk down them. Bob and Lee, they did attend a wastewater one-day training over in Cold Spring, sponsored by the MWOA. Lake Avenue Riverbank project, that has been completed. The bank has been stabilized. Project came in quite a bit under budget, so that likely pay request will be coming at your next meeting. And the spring cleanup has been scheduled for April the 26th.
Great. Any questions for Ron? Right. Tarek is not here. He's on vacation this week. I'm not seeing anyone for our open forum unless, oh, come on. I got so excited.
Yeah.
All right, then we'll move on to the adoption of our consent agenda. The minutes on page 1, vouchers on page 2 totaling $354,635.50. Couple of gambling permits, resignation of the officer, sewer license, liquor license, and the Safe Routes to School grant. I'd entertain a motion to approve unless somebody wants something pulled.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Hersberg, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Thielen. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Old business, page 18, Ron or Chuck on the VOS payment.
Do we just?
Yes, the shelter project is essentially, for the most part, complete. There's a few items of work that remain that will be completed next spring when the weather is suitable. Structure's turning out very well. In your packet is a copy of pay request number 3 for work completed in December in the amount of $100,013.27.
All right, with no discussion, I'd entertain a motion to approve payment estimate number 3 to VOS Plumbing and Heating.
So moved.
Motion by Brick is stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Thielen. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. None. Motion carries. Right, the airport hangar for the FBO. Gentlemen.
Okay, thank you. A number of years ago, the federal government, they did pass what they call bill funds. It is a bipartisan infrastructure law, and in that we did receive quite a fair amount of money for that, and the committee had met, and they are recommending that we put up an FBO hangar, which currently we do have a local person that is interested in renting that, which is a huge asset to us. Estimated cost of putting this up, which would be roughly a 80 by 80 structure. It would be fully insulated, heated, and will be roughly right around $1 million. Our share of that will be 2.5%. Normally we see 5, but under this one it is different, so our share will be roughly $25,000. Chuck, you anything to add on?
Yeah, the schedule would follow sort of our typical airport project process with the funding, where we would get the bids ready, seek bids this spring, and then really we wait several months before we actually get the grants from the FAA and MnDOT Aeronautics. So I wouldn't anticipate construction starting until next fall with the completion in 2026.
Ron, the money is in the airport funds?
Yes, our local match would be taken out of the airport CIP funds.
I'll make the motion to authorize Bolton and Mink to complete plans and specifications.
A motion by Hersberg authorizing Bolton and Mink to complete the planning as stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Brick. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Do we have anyone from the Legion Fire Department? Okay, we will table A. If they're here, great. If not, we will bring that up again. Page 26, employment agreement with Mr. Dan Gens. Jen, do you want to talk to us about this, or?
The agreement before you is very similar to a police chief and city administrator. This was sent to Dan to review, as well as the ASME union contract and the personnel policies. And he signed it and emailed it back so that the council could take consideration on it tonight. He is expected to start on Tuesday, January 21st.
Ron, if we say no, are you going to stick around for a while?
April 1st.
Well then, I suppose we'd better get on with this. I would entertain a motion to approve the Public Works Director employment agreement between the city and Daniel Gens. Jen, as I read this, this is essentially what the council had discussed offering when we extended the offer, right?
Yes, so there is no separation, clause in there, or there is, it's a year probation. We do have the housing or moving or relocation incentive in there, and the rate of pay is what you set at that.
So I'd entertain a motion to approve the employment agreement.
I'll move to approve the Public Works Director employment agreement between the City of Painesville and Daniel, is it Gens? Did we figure this out?
Gens?
Gens? Okay. And Daniel Gens.
So motion by Brick is stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, in years past, we've been doing an annual retreat. Do we want to continue doing that? If so, Jen's given us some proposed dates here.
And the area center is open those dates if you'd like to hold it there.
It would help if my,
I'm good with any of them.
So am I.
I can also do any. I think Monday the 3rd would probably be my preference.
Thursday, the 6th would be mine.
I've had another vote for Thursday, just because I've got Wednesdays off, so I might be coherent at it, which would
Okay.
be preferable.
Yeah, we can do Thursday.
When have we usually done them, like 9 or 8 to 4? I don't
That's what we've
remember.
done.
Okay.
Last year it was a bit shorter. I think it started at 9 and went till like 2.
Yeah, that seemed to work well. Well, how about we just do a Thursday, March 6th, starting at 9 and going until it's done?
Completion of business.
Will there be a little lunch?
We will do lunch.
Oh,
I would just need to know what your desire is to talk about that on that day, so just email me or drop me a note.
We could eat at senior dining, but I think I'm the only one that qualifies.
I think the rest of us just have to pay a premium, don't we?
Well, I don't know. I think you gotta be 60, I think.
You're not the only one then.
Okay.
How is this dependent on food?
We'll bring something in so that you don't starve, you know.
Don't worry, Neil.
Okay, I'll make the motion to retreat on Thursday, March 6th from 9 o'clock till we're done
At the Green Roof Center?
at the Green Roof.
It's a motion by Hersberg to set a meeting, or retreat for Thursday the 6th at the Green Roof Center, starting at 9. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Brick. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. All right. In the past, we've approved conference attendance at the various conferences listed on here. Do we want to do so again or take them up individually?
Just do note that I did add the Association of Minnesota Emergency Managers on this because our mayor serves as the Emergency Management Director.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to approve attendance at the events listed on the action sheet here.
So moved.
Motion by Hersberg, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Thielen, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. All right. We're looking to extend our liquor store lease for the same amounts as we've been paying. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll move to pay the 2025 liquor store lease in monthly installments of $1,828 plus $10 per month for sign electricity from the 105 Liquor Fund payable to Teals Management.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Thielen. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? None. Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Right, then approving the IRS mileage rate going up to 70 cents.
I'll move to approve the city mileage rate of 70 cents per mile effective January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Thielen, any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, election of a mayor pro tem. I will tell you, I am being Switzerland in this discussion. I have no say. Who's going to do it?
Can I formally nominate Neil?
You can make whatever motion you want. It would be in order.
Are you okay with that, Neil?
Yeah, I don't want to second the motion though.
Okay. Well, I'll move to elect Neil Hersberg as mayor pro tem.
So motion by Brick to elect Neil Hersberg as mayor pro tem. Is there a second?
I will second it.
Seconded by Potter. Any discussion?
I feel like you've been here the longest and you probably have the best grasp on running the meeting if necessary, so I just feel like it should be you.
Gary, you want to do it?
Sure.
Okay. There's a motion by Brick to appoint Neil Hersberg, seconded by Potter. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Okay. The official depositories for city funds, we have resolution 2025-01, indicating that we're going to continue using our banks as our banks. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I'll make the motion to approve Resolution 2025-01, designating depositories of funds, designating a chief financial officer, and establishing authority to act.
Motion by Hersberg to adopt resolution 2025-01. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Brick. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, on to council member, committee, weed inspector appointments. I know Neil has some thoughts on taking on another committee. I will let him talk about that. But what I would say is for weed inspector, I'm the statutory person, but historically, I think we've appointed Public Works to fulfill that role, and I would ask that we exercise that authority and do it again.
I feel it's more in their strong suit.
I know that Bob Wander loves nothing more than going to that meeting every year, and I just don't want to take that away from him.
I wouldn't do it. Let them have it.
I guess I talked to the mayor about, I'm really on 2 committees and 2, the Green Roof does meet monthly, so I understand that the Highway Coalition is 1 meeting a year. So I requested either to be put back on the Budget and Finance or the Painesville Joint Trails Board. And I said of the 2, I'd just soon be on the trails because Ron can verify, I talked to Donnie Frank and got the trail approved to go across his land, and I kind of would like to be on that committee.
So you just don't have enough to do, or? So you're on EDAP and everything.
Well, Patty said I need to get out of the house more.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, so
that's fair on Patty's part.
I will say, the way I structured these is to kind of give each council member the same amount of active committees. But Paul, if you want to give up either one or both of those, and
I don't want both.
Okay, now we're just being picky, Neil.
I'll give up the trail, the trail board if he wants to take it.
okay.
Thank you, Paul.
Any other changes that people want to make? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Is there another one you wanted to trade, so we're all on the same number, or?
Well, when I talked to Neil earlier, and Neil, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were sort of willing to just take it. Okay.
Paul, are you good with that, Paul?
Repeat that, please.
Well, I just didn't know if you guys wanted to trade one, so we're all on the same amount, or if you're good with it, then.
Well, I guess I asked the mayor to be on the Highway 23, because I've gone the last couple of years because the people that were assigned are working or couldn't go. I believe the last meeting was at Marshall, and it's a little bit of a, I'm retired, I can fit that in as long as I have my driver.
I'm gonna pass on the Highway 23.
All right.
So then I'd entertain a motion to approve the 2025 Councilmember Board Committee and Weed Inspector appointments with the modification that the Painesville Area Joint Trails Board will be Neil Hersberg instead of Paul Thielen. And that the Weed Inspector will defer that to the Public Works Department. Exercise our statutory authority there.
Okay.
Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll move to approve the 2025 council board member / committee and weed inspector appointments.
Motion by Brick with the modifications discussed.
Yes,
Yes.
with the modifications discussed.
Motion by Brick with the modifications discussed. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Thielen. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. 2025 city board member appointments. These have all remained the same. The only additions would be to the liquor board. Jean is going to be serving on that as a citizen rather than as a council member. The other thing, she did reach out to me earlier today and asked if she could be added as a member on the ad hoc downtown street committee. And I said I would certainly bring it to the council. We established that committee by resolution, so I believe we could amend it at any time.
Or not? I don't see it.
The only other comment I have, Ron, your replacement will be assigned to all your committees.
Correct. I would think so. I guess that's up to you.
That's what the plan is, correct?
Yep. That's how I understood it.
As far as the Park and Tree Board goes too, Mel Cerna has not attended for quite some time because she has a job that she works at the school now. So, I mean, there's the possibility, depending on after the first meeting, what meeting time is set, that she could continue, but I assume it will just be the same during the day as usual. In which case, someone could reach out to her and see if she wants to formally give it up, and then we could look for another representative for that board.
Okay.
John, the citation neutral party, based on how the PD's been operating, I don't think we've issued a citation that would go there, but just based on some other things, I think that should be just vacated. That role.
I'm all in favor of vacating these.
Do we have?
Let's talk about it with Tarek when he gets back and maybe bring it at the next meeting.
Okay.
That's my thought there. But yeah, if there's a way to do it, let's do it. So, I guess I would look for a motion to approve as presented tonight, unless the council wants to also name Jean Soini to the Downtown Development Committee. I think there's some sense to be made to that. Jean owned a building downtown for many years, and she has the experience with numerous other street projects, so I do think she could bring a valuable
Yeah.
input into that committee. And she's willing to do it.
I'll make the motion, and I'll make that part of the motion, that if she's willing to be on it, that would be good.
A motion by Hersberg to approve the 2025 city board member appointments with the addition of Jean Soini to the Downtown Street Improvement Committee. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Brick. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, Tarek gets to be our data practices official again because he's not here to say no to it. Anyone want to move the adoption of Resolution 2025-02, naming him as that compliance official?
So moved.
Unless, Sam, you want it.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. All right, so, motion by Brick to approve Resolution 2025-02. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Potter. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Carries. All right, we have a number of city assignments and appointments. These have all remained the same. Don't see any changes to any of this here, except for the fact that our city attorney is now going to be Sam Ketchum. Bill has flown to warmer climates. I hope, at least, for his sake.
Good for him.
Yep. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the 2025 city assignments and appointments as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Brick is stated on the action sheet, seconded by Hersberg. Any further discussion?
Mayor.
Yes.
Members of the council, I just want to say thank you for your appointment, and our firm is really excited to begin working with you, and so I'm just happy to be here tonight, and looking forward to learning more about your city.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And I should say, we generally keep it pretty flexible, so if you have anything to say, just chime in. You don't need to wait for me to call for discussion. I don't know if you did that intentionally or not, just so you know.
No, I figured it would be an appropriate time to jump in, but
Yeah.
you're moving along very efficiently, and I'm going to not get in the way.
Sounds good. All right, calling the question then, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, setting a special city council meeting due to the Memorial Day holiday, just looking at bumping it to Tuesday, the 27th. Works for me. Is there a motion to that effect?
Yes, it's pretty self-explanatory, so I'll make the motion to reschedule May City Council meeting from Monday, May 26th to Tuesday, May 27th.
Motion by Thielen to reschedule the May City Council meeting from Monday, the 26th to Tuesday, the 27th. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Potter. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Right, Resolution 2025-03 regarding our CD savings and money market accounts. Again, keeping all these in the same place, but looking at the policy for handling those, as far as who's going to be signing and things of that nature.
Am I on the right page?
Yep.
Handling both of these is very stressful. I'll move to approve Resolution 2025-03 regarding certificate of deposit, savings accounts, and money market accounts.
Motion by Brick to approve the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Resolution 2025-04 allowing for wire and automated bank payments. Is there a resolution or a motion to adopt this resolution, folks?
So moved.
Motion by Brick to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. All right, setting a working session. We've got a couple of topics on here, but of course, if anyone has more, throw them out. We've got some potential dates.
I have a preference for Thursdays, just because going forward, Wednesdays is usually my study night off. But I guess it's not about me, so, whatever works for everybody else, but that's my initial preference.
I think doing one Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh,
No, I'm just thinking that way Mr. Jens can just be thrown right into the deep waters.
Yeah, just toss them in. But
No, Thursdays are fine. I would only ask if we do that it be on a week where we do not have a council meeting, so that I can do family stuff then on Monday instead of my normally scheduled Thursday.
I'm gonna have to look at my calendar.
How about February 6th? How does that look?
Should be fine.
Works for me.
Thursdays work good for you now?
Do we want to go that far out? Or, it's on the list, so we can. I just didn't know if we wanted to get,
Well, it ain't that far out, really.
I know, it just seems like it because there's so many dates there. But that works for me.
Works for
Yep.
me.
What time? Do we want to do a daytime one?
Yeah, I'm fine with either. Just not, 10 o'clock at night.
How about 1 o'clock?
On February 6th?
Yep.
We would just have to make sure that Park and Tree is done by 1 because this place, or this council chambers is taken.
We could do 1:30. The benefit of that is I have a hard stop at 2:50 to go pick up my son. So we couldn't go longer than that. We like to keep our working sessions to an hour. So
Perfect.
Just for me.
1:30 on the 6th?
That's fine, yeah.
I'll move to set the special city council meeting working session for Thursday, February 6th, 2025 at 1:30 PM.
So motion by Brick to set the working session for February 6, 2025 at 1:30 PM. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Potter. Any further discussion? None. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Right, resolution 20.
What time was that again, Sean?
1:30.
Gotcha.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-05, with the resolution regarding check signing authority and procedures. This is another one of those new year things that we need to do here. Looking that the signatures are going to be the city administrator or the treasurer, and the mayor or the mayor pro tem.
With that in mind, then we'll need to get new signature cards signed because of Neil being the mayor.
I'll move to approve resolution 2025-05 regarding check signing authority and procedures.
Motion by Brick to approve resolution 2025-05. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Potter, heard it there first.
Yep.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign, none, motion carries. All right, recommendation to increase the reimbursement amounts for meals for employees or council as they're in trainings.
So we never had actual allowances or limits until we adopted that new personnel policy in 2020. Prior to that, it was just a simple reimbursement. Of course, allowances were put on, because I'm sure somebody abused it. However, over the last 12 months, accounts payable has had to deduct the actual expense amount that the employee council has incurred just because it was over the cap. So we are bringing it forward for you to consider.
If memory serves, the prior city administrator, as part of a complete overhaul of all of the policies, suggested
That's very
amounts.
possible.
And this was recommended by policies and procedures.
This did not, policies and procedures was canceled. We just wanted to try to get it on the first meeting of the year, so that going forward, everybody would be under the same caveat. And if you want to bounce it, we totally understand.
I will defer to the council and entertain a motion or any other discussion at this time.
To be honest, I think, except your very, very fancy hotels and whatnot, $15 will get you breakfast.
Thinking about it, it was $15 for me at Hilltop on Saturday morning, just for
Yeah.
an omelet. Because that was my initial thought as well, is 15 seems like a lot. But I was thinking if you go to Quick Trip and get a sandwich, fine. But, I mean, when we've got Hilltop charging $15 a plate,
And that's almost on the top end too.
right?
But most
Queen
of
Bee's
these,
below that, your Perkins, you can get a very good meal for 15.
But when you figure in your $3 coffee and then your tip, it's gonna be in between the 15 and 20.
Well, right.
and we don't know what, you know, if we're out of town, what options we're gonna have, so.
Right. We're not talking Four Seasons level dining here.
And at the end of the year, it doesn't amount to a lot, does it?
No, I can't imagine that it does.
No, the council doesn't approve the trainings anymore. It's up to the department head. So, I don't know how many trainings or seminars or workshops, there's meals included in those costs, or if you're having to, fit the bill yourself.
I think most of the ones we attend, it's part of the whole gig,
Yeah.
usually, so I would imagine that's the case for most of them, but
I think instead of, look, I'll make the motion to approve it, the new changes.
All right, there's a motion by Hersberg to approve as stated on the action sheet. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Thielen. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, looking to close City Hall on September 19th so that the ladies, the DMV can go to, so that staff can attend the Deputy Registrar's Conference that we do each year.
I'll move to close the Motor Vehicle Division of City Hall on September 19th, 2025, so that staff can attend the annual MDRA conference.
Motion by Brick. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Potter. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, on to the EDAP interest rate. My suggestion is that we put this on the next EDAP agenda, let them make a recommendation. And if the recommendation is that it stay the same, then it can come on for informational. And if they recommend a change, then we can take action at that time.
Works for me.
It's a good idea.
Okay. Right, so we'll take no action on that for now. City Council per diems annual review. We set this May of 2023 and said that we were going to take a look at it each year. We want to increase that. Do we know, Jen, the last time it was increased?
That was the last time.
But it wasn't increased, it sort of just cemented the policy that was there, didn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know before that, or sometime before that, it was 40 and 80.
I'm good with leaving it. I just also think there might be some merit to going to 75 and 150, but
Well, I'm thinking kind of like we discussed with the fire department. An employee that's working full-time isn't gonna get paid for being gone that day or two to LMC or wherever. Most people make over $100 a day.
Yeah. But, I mean, has it ever stopped any of us from going anywhere?
right. I mean, we're not in,
No, but I'm just, that was the logic that we
Yeah.
used to approve that. I'm giving you the same logic back.
and that's why I thought maybe it would make sense to increase it by an amount, maybe not 50% each. That was just easy math on my part. But with the inflation we've seen the last few years, not increasing this, I don't know, it seems like we might be due for one.
Fair enough.
What is reasonable?
You want to kick this back to policies and procedures and let them hash it out?
Yeah, let's do that.
Sounds good.
They need something to do. I don't want Donna and I to be bored at that first meeting. That makes two things for our agenda. I already told Jen to throw something else
Get out
on.
of there in 10 minutes.
Fantastic.
Good,
Okay.
right. Hey, folks, we got 17 minutes left.
Oh,
Okay,
geez.
gotta get in high gear.
All right, airport lease agreement. Ron, you want to talk to us about this?
Okay, thank you. Yes, we did have one vacant T hangar. We did have, David Ruprecht was gonna rent it, but he has changed his mind this afternoon. So that one does need to be pulled off. And then we did also have two private hangars that did get sold, one to Curtis Newberg and the other to Dan Grothe and Harlan Lusing. So the two land leases, yes, we do need to move forward with.
Okay.
So you'll have one open now,
I am not too worried about it. We do have a waiting list, so
Oh, good.
I'm sure we will be able to fill it within a month or two.
huh? Good.
Should we increase our rates again?
Sure.
Jack them up. I only got a couple angry phone calls about that, and it's been a while, so,
It has been
you
a
know.
while. Let's stir the
Hey.
pot again. Yep. I'll let David know that I'm disappointed in him.
You tell him.
He is gonna be here, but I think he's gonna be moving into one of these other private hangars.
All right, so we're looking for a motion to approve the ground lease agreements between the city and Curtis Newberg and Dan Grothe and Harlan Lusing, not looking at the T hangar agreement with David.
So moved.
Motion by Brick. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Herzberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. All right. Annual review of the bylaws. Paul, I swear if you say kick this to policies and procedures, I'm putting you on the committee.
There you go. That's his other one.
No. We reviewed these not that long ago, and I think we all agreed at that point that we should sort of keep an eye on them going forward. This is one where I think things have been working out well. I don't have anything that I'd want to change right now. Anything from a staff perspective that we might want to change? Okay.
So
Council
Keep them
members
the
who
same.
forget to silence their phone get
That would
automatically
be-
ejected.
That would be a start.
No.
There's
Okay.
nothing on the action sheet, so just that they stay the same.
Yeah, I mean, if we take no action, things stay the same.
Yeah.
So it's only if we want to do something.
Good do.
But I'm good with these. Okay. Hearing no motion to propose anything different, we will take no action on that. They'll stay the same. And go forward to whether or not we want to do another all-board meeting. Looking at some potential dates in February or all the way out into April.
What's that one again? Is that where we,
Bring all the board committee members together, have a.
the Legion?
At
And
the-
we
Yeah. at the
do a little
Legion,
spiel?
if it's us.
What days of the week are the, February 26th is
February 26th is a Wednesday,
Wednesday?
and you'll see the break in the calendar is due to Lent. And then April 23rd is a
Wednesday.
Wednesday, and April 30th is a Wednesday.
I feel like February's a lot earlier than we've normally had it, isn't it?
It does feel, yeah. I agree.
It is, but I tried to work around Lent. If you're gonna have it in March, it's gonna be Lent, and we got a little flack from that last year, so I'm trying to stay away from that.
I say we go to April then, because so many of the board appointments and things are still going to be new in February. So, you won't have as much of a grasp on the projects and everything that you're supposed to be getting up and talking about by February. I mean, just me personally.
Or do we want to go even later than that and then do something out at like Veterans Park, like we do for the employee appreciation?
That would, might be nice too. And maybe we get better participation.
There's always food. So what it is it's an all-working session where we engage in a brief agenda, and then there happens to be food as a thank you to everyone. Because the rules say that we
All
can't
the
just
committees.
host a thank you luncheon. So we don't.
It's a
We make-
meeting.
It's a meeting. We work. There just happens to be food. And a speech by the mayor thanking them for all their work.
Then you just tell people what your boards are working on and stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I'd kind of like to explore the idea of maybe a June date and having it out at the lake.
I think it's fine.
June is super busy between graduations and Town and Country Days, so
May?
an LNC convention. So June might not be a great month, but
May?
Can
May
have
might
it
be
on my
better.
birthday.
We used to have it in the summer, and we got flack for that also.
Well, either way, you're gonna get flack no matter what, from at least
Yep.
one person.
It's going to be there, and it's going to be a thing that we do, and
Yeah,
if
but
people can
Should we
make it,
try
they
for
make
May?
it. Yeah. Let's get some dates in May. All right.
You want it in the evening, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so. Official bonds, I think let's table this to our next council meeting where Tara can be here to give us some educated information on this.
yeah,
Good idea.
Although I'm not sure that there's anything else he can tell us other than what's in the paper. But,
So he did leave some comments under the administration section. Those were his comments regarding the bonds. If you're looking for an actual bond review, we would have Jessica come.
yeah, I mean, we reviewed these as part of our budget. I'm not terribly worried about them right now.
I don't know, I think with the low interest, we could just leave them, and if you want a motion to leave them, I'm willing to make that.
If that's all we're doing, we don't need that in the motion, that's just,
Okay,
we move on.
because that's kind of the administrator's comment too, with that 1 to 3 1/4, how there's no incentive to pay off early.
Yep. All right, do we want to have this brought back, or are we good?
I'm good with it.
We're good, okay. The insurance agreement with the school. I'm a little bit familiar with this. The school wants to use the soccer fields or other areas, and they can either get proof that the city's a secondary insured, or
I broke it.
You didn't break it. Click the Chrome. It's not a touch screen.
Apparently.
Or we can enter into this agreement and then they don't have to do a specific endorsement each and every time.
I think that this would save more time.
Agreed?
So
It's
I,
actually a money thing. The insurance company that the school uses charges for it.
time and money. I will move to approve the agreement between the City of Painesville and ISD number 741, Painesville Area Schools for use of city property.
Motion by Brick to approve the agreement. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Hersberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. All right. On the memorandum of understanding, LELS. Jen, is this you to talk to us?
I can, otherwise I can defer to Cody too, but when we were going through all the changes in the contracts that affect the employees for each contract, we noticed that they outlined Article 9.1, but they did specifically say that they get a floating and personal holiday. So we brought it to Cody's attention, and he reached out to his union people. They supplied us with a MOU.
So really, we're not changing anything. It's
It just has to say,
Clarify.
yeah, it doesn't say they get one currently. It says it's supposed to be there, but it's not.
Yeah, and then there's like a heading talking about it, saying it's above.
And then it's not above.
Currently got deleted, so it says as stated above, but there is no above. So that was just clarifying.
So let's correct the typo and let's approve this MOU to put it back above, huh? Works for me. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the memorandum of understanding between the City of Painesville and the LELS union regarding personal leave day / floating holiday.
Motion by Brick, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Hersberg, motion is saved on the action sheet. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. All right, ESST union contracts. Everyone's super happy with this, right?
I don't have my head wrapped around it yet, so.
So based on what you approved on January 6th, and according to our labor attorney, we needed to also get approval from the labor unions. So the policy that you approved on January 6th was forwarded in an MOU, as you see in your packet, or a letter of understanding, to each of the unions. We did hear back from both unions. AFSCME has signed it, they approved it. LES acknowledged they got it. They were going to forward it on to their attorney, and that union rep said he would get back to us, and we haven't heard back.
Great. Well, with that, I'd look for a motion to approve the MOUs between the city and the LELS and the AFSCME unions.
I'll make the motion to approve both.
Motion by Hersberg to approve both. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Thielen. Any further discussion? I think just if LELS comes back and says yes, then we're good. If they say no, then we're going to have to bring that one back. So, all right, calling the question. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. That concludes our regular programming, but we do have an update. AMPI BOD level surcharges. Ron?
Okay, thank you. In the update, we do have a letter from AMPI asking for some forgiveness. Each month, we do take daily BOD readings, and off of those BOD levels, that's how they are billed. They are allocated a limit right now of 4,500 pounds of BOD per month. As you can note on the letter here, their average surcharges ran in that $15,000 per month range. However, you can see this month they are in the $58,000 range. So this is extremely high for them, extremely rare. We've never gone this high before. But as you can see also, they did have a few issues in there and they are working towards correcting it. We are also in the process of the Phase 2 project, which Lightway will be started sometime this spring, will go under construction. Public Works, we did review this prior to the meeting. AMPI, they were kind of asking for a 50-50 split. However, Public Works, they felt 35,000 would be a better number and made a point of only one time. So if this happens between, again, next month or the following, it's an absolute no. They will be billed 100% of the surcharge.
Ron, you and I talked about this earlier today, and you mentioned that this does not affect our operational costs. Could you speak a little bit to that?
No, our operational costs are all covered by our other daily charges. The surcharges are an incentive or an encouragement for AMPI to keep their limits, or their BOD's levels within their limits. And as I noted, their limits are 4,500, and I believe this month they were up right around 9,000, so it was quite a difference.
So I just think that's important to know. The city's not incurring $58,000 in expenses because of this.
Correct.
This is the contracted amount. So if we do go and give a discount, it's not that we're losing.
Can I add
We're
something?
not out money, we're just not getting it. Yes, Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, I think what I would prefer is we get verification that there is not any programming issues or valve failures. If we can get reassurance that those have been verified and not the problem, I'd feel more comfortable doing that. Just in fear of future happenings down the road, we give them a discount, and this happens again, are we gonna have to come back and repeat it?
Well, that's what the Public Works said, no. This is a one-time deal. That if it happens again, it's on them. They're aware of it, they're going through their facility, pretty much inspecting it. Exactly what you said, Paul, is what they're doing.
Okay,
They're going through and looking at everything.
okay.
But why it's important that they get within guidelines, indirectly, it could affect our license.
If there would happen to be some flow-through, or we would have something on the back end, a violation of our permit, yes, then it would be an issue, but I don't foresee that happening.
I support the Public Works recommendation of 35,000. With the contingency that this is a
One-time deal.
one-time, fix it now, or learn to live with it type of thing.
I can agree with that.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Hersberg to reduce the bill from 58,000 to 35,000, along with a notice that this is a one-time adjustment to the bill. Is there a second to that?
A second.
Seconded by Brick. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. We have a number of informational things. People keep in mind, Xcel Energy wants to increase electric rates. Open house notice for the Highway Department. Public Utilities Commission has some new laws. Let Kristen know if you want to go to the Day on the Hill for the league. It's always a fun time. Might be especially interesting to go this year with Lisa Damuth being the speaker heir apparent. And then, well, if they convene, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. We have month-end reports on the city's website, chloride grant notices that Ron talked about, and the police department reports. With that, do you want me to kill time for a minute, or can we be done?
No, but, I just have one thing.